Hi there, I'm Chris, and today we're going to talk about a 100-day functional fitness challenge that my wife took. I helped her through this process, and a little bit of backstory. I am 56 years old. I've been doing Kettlebell Club, Mace, some functional movement training for a few years now, and it has changed my life. It has fixed me. At 50 years old, I was broken down. At 56 years old, I feel great. And because of that, I'm pretty evangelical about it. I really, really believe in how these movements work and how your body works as one unit instead of isolating individual muscle groups. Um, so, my wife, who is big into working out, more as a means of staying fit and just being active and staying in shape. She's not training for anything in particular. Um, Over the course of the last year, she has started to develop some of those nagging things that you get in your 50s. Shoulder hurts a little bit, elbow isn't quite right, back is just never seems flexible. And she voiced that frustration over the course of the last year or so. And you could tell she'd be, we'd be changing sheets on the bed, and she had a really hard time lifting the mattress up to get underneath it. And I would have to come and help do her side. She would get out of bed in the morning and just twist and stretch, and her whole back would crack for a while before she would get out of bed. She was getting the nagging stuff that you get in your 50s. And it finally got to the point where she was done with it. I need to try something different. I need to go get an MRI. I need to see somebody. So she looked at me and said, "Will that club stuff that you do really help?" And we said, let's do this. Let's do a 100-day challenge. If you take it seriously and commit to doing a 100-day process, and we do it right, and we practice the technique and all that kind of stuff, let's see where it is. And if it doesn't help, we've only lost a couple months, and we go to the next step. So what we did is we talked about a program, how we're going to get this done. And I helped her develop the exercises, and we watched a lot of YouTube videos on technique, and we did a lot of practice to make sure that her technique was right. So on Monday, here's some worksheets that I created for her so she can track her workouts. How many reps and sets did she do? On Monday, she does a single arm club exercise. When she started out and she was doing 4 sets of 5 reps, she did inside circle, outside circle, and shield cast all in one day. As her reps got up and the workouts got longer, she's now doing 12 sets of 12. She only does either inside or outside circles. She doesn't do them both on the same day. And then she always does shield cast. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, she does kettlebell swings with a 25-pound club. On Wednesdays, she does same thing with the circles. She does pendulums, and she does either inside pendulums or outside pendulums. And she does alternating 100-degree pullovers. So she's doing basically a mill and a reverse mill top portion. Thursdays is back to kettlebell. Friday, she's back to doing the inside and outside circles and shield cast. And then on the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, she does the kettlebell armor building complex, the ABC. And she does 24, she started out with 20 sets with kind of a long rest in between. And she's up to 24 sets on an EMOM. So she's getting 30 seconds of rest. And she's doing a 15-pound kettlebell. Here's my mace rack. I had bought her a 7-pound mace at one time because I thought that mace would be great for her. She is not comfortable with the behind the back swing. So we didn't get her using a 7-pound mace. For this particular 100-day challenge, we got her a 5-pound On-It club. This is kind of an extended dumbbell. There's not a lot of weight on the head because it's only 5 pounds, but it does give you the the motion of going in the circles. It lets you feel what the weight does as it comes around, pendulums. She started to get a little bit more comfortable with this. At the very beginning, she could not do a shield cast on her left-hand side. So it took a lot of reps and a lot of practice. As she got more comfortable with this, it got to the point where the 5 pound wasn't heavy enough. She wanted something with a little more weight. She wanted something with a little bit more heft. So I took one of my 8X clubs and brought the weight down. This is adjustable. So this top part screws off and you can add or remove weight. So I took the 5 pound club and added a 1.25 pound weight on it. So she now has a 6.25 pound 8X club. And this is what she's been using. It has a little bit more weight at the end, so you can definitely feel it pull you more. And she's been doing this for her workouts. Through the 100-day challenge, let's see, and then she's using a 15-pound kettlebell and a 25-pound kettlebell for the 2 swings. The other thing that I added on her worksheets is I added a scoring system. I gave her a scoring. If the workout was too easy, it was a joke, you didn't get any benefit at all, we scored it a 1. 2 meant that it was easy, it wasn't very challenging, but at least you got a little sweaty, but it wasn't really a full workout. 3 we considered perfect. You feel fatigued and invigorated at the same time, so we scored that a 3. If the workout was hard, you were able to complete it, but it was hard, and you probably wouldn't want to do that exact same workout again tomorrow. We called that a 4. And then 5 is too hard to get through. You had to quit. You couldn't make it through the workout. So at the end of each day, she scores how many reps, how many sets and reps she did, what was the date, and what was the workout rating. And then we're able to see her progress, and we're able to see when she's ready to go up in weight and what we can change. So from a results standpoint, she started this at I think it was February, well, we can look at her sheet, February 25th or 27th, or it was right before March 1st. So basically it was going to go through March, April, and May, and then at the beginning of June or the early part of June, we would look at it. Well, as things would happen, she starts doing her workouts, and a couple weeks in, she kind of has this sheepish look and says, I don't want to admit it, don't get cocky, but I think those circles are helping my shoulder. We say, great, let's keep going. As more time went on, I noticed that she gets out of bed faster. She's not quite it doesn't hurt quite as much. She continues to use her old exercises. She does the Peloton subscription service. So she does those Peloton workouts. We don't have the bike, but she does the workouts that they have, the follow along workouts. But she tries not to do, because her shoulders were so hurt, as part of this 100-day challenge, we tried not to do any weighted shoulder exercises. So she's doing her cardio, she's doing her stretching and that kind of stuff through the Peloton app. But anyway, she gets through this whole process, and at the end of 100 days, part of me is wondering if she's going to want to continue, and part of me is wondering if she's going to say, okay, that's good enough, I want to go back to my old way. And here we are, looking for what is the next step in her journey. So I'm working on updating her worksheets now, and we're gonna turn the circles and the 180-degree pullovers into mills and reverse mills. So she's gonna have a mill and reverse mill day. We're going to add swipes to the shield cast day. We're gonna do a day with pendulums to mill tops, because that's a different movement pattern. And then we'll continue. I think one of the kettlebell days is going to be 2-handed, and the other kettlebell day will go to a 1-handed. We may be in a position, her ABCs, she's been doing it with a 15-pound, and it's probably too light for her now, and I don't own a 20-pound, so we may have to buy a 20-pound kettlebell for her. But by and large, she went through 100 days, she's gotten her technique better, she's watched her progress go. She went to the point where it wasn't even a workout, and she doesn't know this is stupid, why am I doing this? To the point where now she gets a little sweaty while she's doing it, and her heart beats a little faster. And that's part of this process, is You have to get good at something before you can make it hard. If you go out with a heavy weight and try to do tons of reps your first day, you're going to come away injured, banged up, can't even do the exercise. So you have to build up enough to be able to make it a workout. You have to grow into the workout. And she's at that point now where it really is a workout. So it's exciting to see. So 100-day challenge, we're going to call it successful. We're going to up the ante, introduce some new exercises, increase the weight just a little bit, a pound or two. That kettlebell will do a 5-pound change, and we'll see where it goes. We might report back in 100 days and see if she continues to make progress. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if this is interesting, helpful, valuable. Let me know in the comments if there's something else that you want to hear about. And otherwise, we'll talk to you next time. Go get better.